Uh, so, again, onward with the push. So, simple. How do you worship Goddess V? Some people might think that my passion for vulva as a flower, as a celebration of our self realization as human beings, is suggests that I'm like desperately trying to seek, and seduce a woman as soon as possible. But the opposite is the case, because worshiping vulva involves these following steps. First is treating women as sacred. Okay. And that means not trying to force them to expect them to work when possible, trying to make it so they can stay at home. And if they do, like, I'm speaking, if I was a woman, I would ideally, I would want to make money, and I would want to give it to the male guardians that I had. In a perfect world, it's biological father or uncles and whatnot, but in an imperfect world, it's finding a man like in a church scenario who you can trust, and if you don't give them your money, at least have them help you manage it. Like, because what women will do is they'll do a lot of crazy, desperate things when they're, even if they have a nice, attractive body, and even if they're a virgin, and even if it's like they'll try to do more body accentuation with plastic surgeries, breast implants. They'll wear makeup, which is toxic to the skin and body. They'll wear high heels. They'll display themselves out there in this, with this intention of getting energy from other men. And I think that it's okay for a married woman, if she's with her husband, to show off, dress sexy, to also even be a stripper, as long as her husband approves, and it would be the context of, you'd give the money to the husband, and not the woman. The idea of giving money to women, I think, is fundamentally worth questioning, because it's like, a lot of times it's about men giving money to women in the attempt of like for anything from buying a person alcohol to food. It's all about getting this psychological leverage, this sense of owing or indebtedness, and getting the woman in this submissive frame. And so I don't think it's ideal. And I think that the fundamental error people make is they talk about, it's, women are whatever, Americanized or aggressive or whatever it may be. But what you don't realize is it's like, as a man, you got to take responsibility for all that, and as men collectively, we have to start off with, like I said, number one, treating women as sacred. That involves also things like not sending them to a church. No, excuse me. Not sending them to a school to be predated upon by their male counterparts, and even worse, beyond high school, sending them to college, to paying for their car, their dorm, their college. What do you think they're going to do? They're going to act on their emotions. See, women are designed to caretake young children and kind of tolerate the emotions of young kids. So, do you really think that the women, and they also have their hormones of influencing them to whatever it may be it to have children, and then what are they going to choose? They're going to choose some guy who they think is attractive, even if he can't be a provider, which in a way is, it's the, call it the biological reality, or the biology of, like, yes, from an evolutionary standpoint, we would like women to have attractive bodies. We would like them to look attractive. We would like them to humans to look attractive. So that requires people to have intercourse with people who have favorable genetics. But does that mean to the extreme of trying to get impregnated by the tallest, most appealing man that a woman can find, and then either hope that he invests parentally and is a loyal husband and provider for the children? So how do we ensure a society of stability, sustainability, oriented around love? I'm going to use the term love versus unloving. For example, that's why I think premarital intimacy is unloving. And there's a lot of other terminology that people can be tempted to use, like, oh, you're being a prude. Well, being prude, that means being prudent, and that means having a forward-seeking mind. And prudent. And I'm also loving. I would posit that premarital intimacy is oriented around seduction. It's just oriented around people trying to get gratification off of each other's bodies. It's very objectifying. Now, curiously, there's this narrative in the West that claims that women are being objectified by these cultures that try to protect them and not allow them or not want them to operate in the masculine, to have money and do all these things, and women are thinking that too. I think a lot of people, it's easy to convince them that let's this is a great idea, women empowerment. But what does it actually end up doing? It ends up where, it's fine, I think, if women want to be in their masculine and they want to pursue a career and they want to do certain things like higher education and everything. Trouble is women think that you can have that pursuit and have a happy family. Now, to have a happy family, you've got to put, if you're going to school, you got to put all that on pause. And all that education that you did, you can't apply it if you're going to have children, unless, of course, you want somebody else to raise your children and like put your breast milk in a refrigerator and then have it reheated and given to them by somebody else, and hire nannies and daycare and even sending them to school. I mean, I believe in homeschooling. I believe that maybe if schools were gender separate, then that would be nice, but I believe in homeschooling. Because I think that's better than co-ed schooling, in which people end up getting seduced by each other, and it's just not. I just want to place emphasis on this term, unloving. That is the argument. That's the key word to use in arguments. If something is unloving, ask somebody, well, they're doing this, this, and this, but is it loving? What's going on here? So So it's like this whole idea of worshiping Goddess V, right? It's treating women sacred. I wanted to expound upon that, but now we have other simple, easy things that are readily graspable by the mind, such as self-intimacy, masturbation, to control your desires so you don't engage in premarital intimacy, and also it's wanting a sacred virgin woman with a clean shaven vulva, and just that it's a hygiene issue. Like, why was potentially with other men or has been with other men. Now, I'm not discounting that a woman may have found her path to purity, just as a man may have found his path to purity, and then they kind of reinvent themselves and approach life from a different, more loving perspective. But okay, so another way to worship the Goddess V is to look at vulva, like strip club or. But yeah, and then another way obviously is oral sex on a woman. But again, you got to be able to look at a woman, and this should be the single thing here, is being able to just look at a woman. Okay, I gotta run, but thank you guys. Thank you very much.